Hey everyone, we're jumping into Battlestar Galactica Season 1, Episode 10 today. This one's titled Hand of God, which has me feeling like we're going to see more religious themes and talks and all of that. And I feel like I ranted a lot about the last two episodes in my outros. So we're just going to pop right into episode 10 and 11 after today. I feel like things are really starting to boil up and we're getting closer and closer to the end of season 1 already. And it has me feeling like we're probably going to see some crazy things start to happen because that's just how season finales go. And I'm totally here for it. So let's jump into episode 10.
Galactica has ships scouring the nearby star systems, and we can anticipate they will soon find Tillium.
Tillium fuel reserves down to 5%.
Isn't it a fact, Madam President, that we only have enough for 2 more jumps?
Yes, that is correct.
Do we have a contingency plan if we run out of Tillium?
If that were to happen, we would use our last fuel.
And pray we're lucky enough to find a habitable planet.
Stop. Is it the extract? It's making her hallucinate? This is not a good look.
I'm sorry. That is all for now.
Feel like it has to be the extract.
But don't you want to be a hero to Ensign Davis?
Oh no, she's the scanner again.
Damn it, there's so much debris in the system that Dreidis is useless.
Yeah, I heard about how you found water, how you saved the whole fleet. Yeah, I love it.
Boomer's getting like super snarky now lately. Oh, they found some.
Boomer, that asteroid dead ahead is a mountain of Tillium. Check it!
We're heroes!
Great, Boomer. The second that I score, the bus driver jumps in and takes the credit.
Okay, so who's the one that we suggested?
What?
Silence.
What? Oh my gosh, is that like a hub? They found a Cylon base? Jeez. They're obviously not too far away from it. But yeah, with the whole Caprica, Hilo, Sharon situation, totally misinterpreted what was going on there. So Sharon ended up running from them. They told them to go to like a safe cabin where they wanted them to start a family and settle down. And Sharon's falling in love with Hilo for reals. And that's why they're running. That's why they're not actually being hunted down. So thank you for the person on Patreon that cleared that up for me. I went back and rewatched it and I was like, oh, I definitely misinterpreted all of that. My bad. It's kind of hard sometimes to like retain everything while still talking to you guys too. I feel like my brain has some issues sometimes with that. I apologize.
All right, so we forget this asteroid, find another source.
And use up all our fuel doing it. How are we gonna get our refinery ship?
We take the Tillium from the Cylons.
What?
With all respect, this is hardly a time to attack a superior force.
We know where they are. They don't know where we are. Catch them with their pants down. Captain Adam and Colonel Ty are working on the plan now, and I need some serious out-of-the-box thinking.
Out of the box is where I live.
That's true.
You're kidding, right? You read Pythia, and now you're having me on.
No.
What?
Who is Pythia?
One of the oracles in the sacred scrolls. Pythia wrote about the exile and the rebirth of the human race, and the Lord's anointed a leader to guide the caravan of the heavens to their new homeland. They gave a vision of serpents, numbering 2 and 10 as a sign of things to come. She also wrote that the new leader suffered a wasting disease and would not live to enter the new land. But you're not dying.
Stop. What? That's too weird. That's too weird.
What we need to do is make their patrols part of our plan. Make their tactics work for us. At position code Deacon, we'll need 3 civilian freighter ships to use as decoys. This will leave the base relatively undefended. When the Cylons move towards the decoys, Galactica's Vipers will come in from behind and obliterate the base.
If you succeed, what's to prevent the Cylons from coming back with reinforcements?
Nothing. But if we get a chance to knock out that base, it'll buy us some time.
Yeah.
Good hunting, everyone.
Operation starts in 48 hours.
I mean, it's a great plan. It could go sideways.
A nuke would destroy the Cylons.
But the radiation would render the ore inert. Unusable. Specifically, you need to hit the staging tanks for the refined helium precursor.
And where would they be?
I need your advice on this one.
Oh, jeez. Just tell them.
But I don't know the first thing about Tillium Refinery.
Neither do I.
Gaius.
When I should tell them to bomb.
No, but God does. You must remember to surrender your ego. Remain humble. Relax your neck.
Why? What are you going to do?
I said relax.
All right, but please don't.
Where would the staging tanks be, Doctor?
So he doesn't know. He was just asking her for actual advice.
There. Right there. Hit any one of them, and place we've got like 3 kiloton bomb.
For real? Or is he just guessing?
He didn't speak to me. I just picked that spot at random.
He doesn't always speak in words, guys.
So the fate of the entire human race depends upon my wild guess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this guy. This guy. Jeez. Watch the spot be correct.
Apollo's leading this strike force. You're gonna have to sit this one out.
Yeah.
Doc says your knee won't take it.
Well, then he's wrong.
A Viper thruster pedal requires this much force.
Oh, jeez.
So you gotta jam that pedal and hold a 6G turn. 6, 5, 4.
Jeez. That's crazy. I thought they just get in there and you actually have to have that much leg strength?
You don't think I'm up to this?
Of course I do. You'll be fine.
She just wants to be out there.
It's odd, isn't it?
What?
That we haven't seen a single living human being. We're still alive. Why nobody else?
That is weird.
Probably hold out in their fallout shelters or something.
They've been to a fallout shelter. It was empty too.
Baked beans, corn.
Stop. Is she pregnant?
Sharon, have you been taking your anti-radiation meds?
I think it was those cold beans we had this afternoon.
Ew.
How far you figured Adelphi?
If we start early, we can be there in no time.
Is she pregnant? Is that what that was about? Is that why she's running?
Got something for you. Belonged to your grandfather. My mom bought it for him when he was in law school.
What is it, a lighter?
He's a better father than I was.
So you're worried too?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it feels like the whole ship thinks Starbuck would do better.
I don't.
How can you be so sure?
Because you're my son.
Oh.
I'll bring it back.
You better. I'll kick your ass. It's a good lighter.
So it is a lighter. Okay.
What the racket?
Oh.
You killed her.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was so long ago.
I saw her blood spill on my lap.
Let's move, mister.
Yeah. He's gonna know there's more that look like her.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
She should probably act more surprised.
If they take the bait, all hell breaks loose.
Until then?
We wait.
Here we go.
Cylons have seen the freighter. They're en route to intercept.
Okay, so they are taking it.
Mr. Gaeta, launch Strike Force 1.
Aye, sir.
Pilots, man your planes.
Gotta find out if God spoke to Gaius.
I just hope that Lee can...
Lee isn't the problem. You should take a good look at yourself. When you're in the cockpit, you're in control. It's hard to give it up.
I never wanted this kind of responsibility.
The Cylons never asked us what we wanted. Welcome to the big leagues.
Dang. That's a really interesting perspective. You have to get used to losing that control and trusting that you've taught the right things.
50 plus inbound.
What's that mean?
It means that a Cylon patrol spotted our attack force. The base sent out 50 more raiders to intercept.
Oh no.
Fireball! You're 6! Don't join! Don't join! Get out of there! Move, move!
This is not good.
Now we play for all the marbles. Starbuck, it's your plan.
Wait, she has a plan?
D, please send a scrambler to Captain Apollo. Message reads, the back door is open.
Apollo Galactica, back door is open. Godspeed, Apollo.
They foresaw them tapping into their comms. Smart. And that's where Lee is. Let's go. Oh my goodness. The camera turned.
Incoming! Incoming!
That looks crazy.
We have to blow this thing manually. Welcome.
Oh jeez. It did something to the missiles.
Chuckles! Chuckles!
No. Oh no.
I've got an idea. I'm gonna take a closer look.
This is intense.
The conveyor tunnel's clear. I'm going through it.
Oh my gosh. Jeez, it has to, right? He can't die. That feeling.
Oh, Lord.
When you're like, I really need to focus. Ah. When you're doing something super sketchy and it's like really hard to like keep that focus because then you start freaking out. Is that it?
There you are.
It was the right spot.
Apollo, mission accomplished.
That was insane.
Congratulations, Doctor. It worked!
He was taking a complete shot in the dark.
Commander, Strike One reports inbound Cylons are bugging out.
Tell our people to pursue and destroy.
Affirmative.
The music.
Tear him up.
Is he gonna light it with the lighter? The lucky lighter. Aww. Let's go. Their first time attacking Cylons. And they did it.
All of this has happened before. All of this will happen again.
What are you getting at?
Led by serpents numbering 2 and 10.
The Vipers.
Though the outcome favored the few, it led to a confrontation at the home of the gods.
So God wanted me to destroy the Cylon base.
You did well. You gave yourself over to him.
Once again.
There's really no other logical explanation for it.
He's starting to believe.
I am an instrument of God.
He believes in now. Logic has led him to God, which is actually kind of funny. But, I mean, every time that she has told him to have faith, to pray, to believe, it's gone in his favor. So now he can't ignore the logical side of it too, which has brought him to believing that he is an instrument of God. That just... Okay, what an episode. I kind of feel like the result of their win while yes, Baltar and his pick from God definitely helped, there was also an undeniable logic part of why they won to begin with. And it was because of the strategy, the logic in the military, and their Kara's big plan, which ended up working. And without that big plan, without that logic, without that military plan, this wouldn't have been possible. But also without Gaius's pick and inspiration from Six to pray and let God show his finger the way, it also wouldn't have been possible either. And I feel like this episode was just a perfect mix of, once again, showing the logical side and also the spiritual side and how they kind of go hand in hand. And it makes it feel and look like an actual miracle that has happened and God speaking to Gaius through his finger. But also at the same side of it, the military obviously was working up a plan and using strategy and previous thought cycles of strategies that have worked before combined is what ultimately won them getting that base. And I'm glad that Gaius finally asked Six about, well, isn't it the Cylon god? Because that's what Six is telling him this entire time, that God has this divine plan that, you know, it's time for the Cylons to be a part of it, basically. And that does make it feel like it's a Cylon god more than just like an all-seeing God that we know of. But she said no, that it is just, as long as you have him in your heart, he serves everybody. And I thought that was really interesting and kind of a question that I've been low-key asking myself throughout all of this. Like, maybe it is just a Cylon god. Maybe it is just, you know, not the god that I think of. She confirmed in this episode that it is. And I feel like Baltar is weirded out, but also now he's coming into a very interesting turn in his character arc where he is getting kind of like a god complex, which I think is funny because he is believing in God. He's believing that he's an instrument of God. And for someone that does cling on to logic so much, it was inevitable that after this many times of Six telling him, believe in God, pray, and your prayers will be answered, and it actually working out, he can't deny the logic anymore. And I feel like that has full-fledged sent him into spirituality and believing and thinking that he is this instrument. The way that that scene ended with him like looking up and on the banister and just kind of knowing Baltar a lot and his character throughout what we've seen in season 1 so far, it was a little unnerving to have him feeling that God complex, feeling like he is an instrument of God and not really knowing what he'll do with that, because I feel like he's very on the fence about where he stands when it comes to humanity because of the whole Cylon detector thing, because Six is clearly in his head and he keeps going to her for answers, which is again unnerving. And it makes me wonder if all of this is just a Cylon manipulation of some sort that is getting into his head more and more. I don't understand how it's happening, but that's the point. And then we have everything going on with this prophecy and the president seeing her visions, which I did think were very strange, but I kind of just chalked it up to her having the extract, but super strange that it falls in line with the prophecy. I'm guessing it's like a priest of some sort, the one that she consulted with that told her about the prophecy with the snakes and everything like that, and having a vision and being sent to the new place but not seeing it because they have terminal illness, which is crazy. But then for Six to end up saying, well, the 6 vipers and, you know, or the 12 vipers, I'm sorry, throwing a spin on it that Gaius is actually the chosen one that will lead them to the new world. It's just very interesting because the president believes that, you know, she is this chosen prophecy fulfiller from the gods, plural, and now Gaius is over there thinking that he is chosen. He is an instrument of the one God. I do love that this show keeps it very ambiguous and wants us to ask all these questions and look at it at different viewpoints. It's very interesting, and it's gotten much more intense in the faith versus logic, yeah, it has me still leaving this episode very confused. But like I said, I think that's the point. But it was really cool that in this one, the fleet's not just surviving and, out there for survival. Adama takes the first plunge at the Cylons and they win. Whether it was because of God, whether it was because of strategy, whether it was because of both, they still did have that win, and they're not just surviving, they're actually starting to thrive now. They defeated their first Cylon base. That's pretty big. And Adama had that whole speech about, the bully, and once you hit him where it hurts, they take a second moment to attack again. And maybe he's right. Maybe that's just a human response, not a Cylon response, but I guess we'll find out now. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Awesome episode. I am going to jump right into episode 11, so I will see you guys there. Bye.